It's time to rock the flavor!
Running my own restaurant in the daytime and playing in bands at night, I've developed a passion for food and music. This is where all my dreams come together. This is where food and music come together. This is the Melody Grill.
Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Melody Grill. It's a very special edition of the Melody Grill where food and music come together. I'm your host Mike Abraham and today we are at the Brandon Township Fire Station in Ortonville, Michigan, and we're making a 5-alarm chicken parm. It's going to be an awesome recipe with a spicy marinara sauce. We're going to take some chicken breasts, make a traditional chicken parmesan with a spicy kick. And what makes this episode so special today, folks, we have a very special musical guest. He was a founding member of Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels. He's been listed as one of the 50 top greatest drummers of all time. He's a founding member of the Rockets. Please welcome, we're very honored to have with us, Mr. Johnny B. John Badanjek. Come on in, Johnny.
Hey.
Hey. So glad to see you, sir. How are you? It's an honor to have you on the show.
I'm hungry.
You're hungry? You're going to do an original song for us today. What's the name of the song you're going to do for us?
Fire Engine Man.
Fire Engine Man, and we are in the firehouse. Is that perfect or what? With a 5-alarm chicken parm. I think it's awesome, and we're so glad to have you here. What have you been up to lately, John?
Just recording. We've been doing, we did a couple Alice Cooper albums a few years back in Royal Oak, because Alice wanted to come back to Detroit and get back to his roots. So he called me and said, put a band together. And we did the Breadcrumbs album, and then we did the Detroit Stories album, which ended up being #1 in the Billboard magazine and in the top 10 all over the world, in England and Australia, France, and that. So.
And I know you're a big foodie too, right, Johnny?
Oh,
I mean, I know that you eat healthy.
I eat.
You mentioned to me in our pre-production interview, you like quinoa pasta and things like that.
Yeah.
Like you were vegan for some time, is that right?
Well, the thing is, for a drummer, they say, B's like a shrew. He has to eat twice his own body weight each day.
Oh, okay.
So I'm always eating.
Johnny
so
B.
More coal,
Right on. So glad to have you here, sir. It's an honor. Johnny B., our music guest today. Today is going to be Chef Boy RB. So we also have another special guest here today from the fire department here. It's our Chief Dave Quapis. Come on in, camera. Here's Chief Dave. Give him a hand, guys. Chief, we're really honored that you let us be here today. We've got an incredible music guest who's doing an incredible song. We have an incredible recipe. And to have such an amazing spot to shoot this show, we just want to say thank you so much. And how are things here at the fire station?
Things are well, and we're glad to have you here.
Thank you so much.
And we're looking forward to a good meal.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about what you guys do here at the fire station.
So at the fire station, we're manned 24 hours a day. We do ALS transport. We do run fires.
Which is advanced life support.
Advanced life support. We do car accidents. We call those PIs, but entrapment, stuff like that. And we have a mixed crew, both full-time and part-time personnel. And we cover 36 square miles.
And what does that encompass? What towns?
So that covers the village of Ortonville and Brandon Township.
It was very important that we made a meal, or a recipe, I should say, that wasn't so involved that when the fire alarm goes off, these guys have to drop everything what they're doing, right? These men and women that work here, that's what's most important. So we're gonna make a meal that they can put in the freezer and heat up later and eat it anytime they're here. And I think you guys are gonna be real happy with it.
And they're looking forward to it.
Awesome. So let's get right into it. Go ahead, Johnny. What's up?
You're gonna need a bigger pot, I think, if you're gonna feed everybody.
Oh, yeah, well, you'd be surprised what we can get away with. We're gonna start our sauce now. It's our spicy marinara sauce. First, we're gonna have to put a couple of tablespoons of olive oil in the bottom of our pan, right? Olive oil. I love the sound of that. It's kind of salacious, almost tempting. And we're gonna put that on the stove, and we're gonna let that come up to temperature. Just before it starts to smoke. And then when we get that up to temperature, we're gonna add our diced onions. We're gonna wait, stir them around a little bit, let them get translucent. Diced onions. They remind me of like the gangsters of the food groups. No matter what you do to them, they always hit back. Then we're gonna add the star of our show, some crushed red pepper flakes. This is what's gonna kick up the heat on our spicy marinara sauce. Crushed red peppers, these little guys might look cute, but trust me, these buggers are all about attitude. And then add our minced garlic, and we're gonna let that steep, and all these flavors are gonna seep into the oil, and then we're gonna start putting our sauce together and let it simmer. Then we're gonna have Johnny B do a song for us. So I can't wait. Stick around. We'll be right back. We're gonna make this sauce and knock it out of the park.
Yay!
When shopping for ingredients, you want the best ingredients possible. Look for fresh color, good textures, and of course, look for locally sourced providers, or at least providers that you trust. Garlic, food of the gods. So this recipe requires a little bit of prep, so we're gonna take you behind the scenes now and give you a little taste of what it entails. The sauce calls for 1/2 of a sweet onion. The onion that I chose though was a little bit smaller, so I've gone a little bit more than half for this. What we wanna get is about 1/2 cup of chopped onion. We want to put a real small chop on this because it's going to be in a sauce and we don't want it to be too chunky. This is a finely engineered instrument and it's hundreds of years old. This design has not changed. Gripping it with the forefinger and the thumb, you want to hold it right here, and this is what's called the tang of the knife, and you want to rest that first knuckle right on the tang, grip it with your finger and your thumb and your forefinger, I should say. We do about 4 cuts across the grain. Then we're going to do about 6 cuts across the middle with the grain. And we're looking at our dice here at about 1/4 of an inch. Once we do that, now we're ready to start chopping. We want to use what's called the heel of the knife when we chop. We're keeping our thumb tucked behind our fingers. I'm kind of using this knuckle right here. I don't know if you can see that. This knuckle right here, I'm using that as a guide, right? Safety is more important than anything else. So once I get down to just a little bit left, I'm gonna go ahead and finish it off. This is what we call a small dice. I'm gonna transfer it to the bowl now and get ready to put that in our sauce. Oh yeah, listen to that sizzle. That's what we wanna hear. And we're gonna just stir those around in the oil. We're gonna wait, take about 3 or 4 minutes for these onions to become translucent. All right, it looks like our onions are nice and tender, ready to go. We're ready to put this sauce together. We're gonna add 1½ teaspoons of crushed red pepper flakes. If you don't have crushed red pepper flakes, you can also substitute that with cayenne pepper because that's actually the pepper that these red pepper flakes come from. We're gonna let that stir around. We're gonna stir that for about 30 seconds or so, let it get mixed in with that oil. And what we're doing now is we're letting that olive oil that was in the bottom of our pan, it's steeping, it's seeping into that oil and it's infusing its flavor into that oil. We've got onion and red pepper. Oh, it's smelling so good right now. And last thing to go in is the garlic. I also want to reduce my heat a little bit when I go with the garlic because the garlic will burn real easily and quickly. So we're putting in our 4 cloves of minced garlic into our sauce base here. We're gonna mix that around. Oh yeah, it's got some really good color. Take a look at that. Look at that. That's onion, garlic, and crushed red pepper and a little olive oil. That's a great starter for our sauce. Looks like we're ready to go now and put this sauce together. First thing we're gonna add, 1 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. If you like, you can add stewed tomatoes. It's just gonna change the texture. It's also gonna change the flavor a little bit. I like the crushed. This is sauce. I don't want my sauce too chunky. If you like your sauce chunky, you can make your onions bigger. I want it to be a little bit smoother though. We're gonna kick up it's gonna have plenty of texture. So I don't want it to be too chunky. I've cut those onions really small. I've also minced the garlic. I'm also gonna add 1 28-ounce can of tomato sauce. So 1 can of crushed tomatoes, 1 can of sauce. We're gonna mix that up a little bit. and then we're gonna season it. For our seasoning, we're looking at 1 teaspoon of basil. This was fresh basil that I chopped and then I let it dry. If you put it in while it's fresh, it's a lot more pungent. And we really want to highlight the heat in this sauce, not so much the Italian flavor. But that basil, such a great Italian spice. Also, 1 teaspoon of ground oregano. I'm using ground oregano and not leaf oregano on purpose. I want the flavor of the oregano. I don't want the flakes in my sauce. However you like it, that's up to you. Oregano, a lot of people think is an Italian spice. It's actually a Greek spice. I don't want those flakes of Greek spice in my Italian sauce. So we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of ground oregano. We're gonna add a little bit of salt. A pinch, or salt to taste if you prefer. Give that a stir. We're gonna bring that up to a simmer. Oh, those flavors are already starting to steep in there and start to give off an aroma. And if you can tell, we're gonna put this up now to high, about medium heat. And we're gonna let that simmer. And once it comes to a little boil, we're gonna turn the heat down, let it simmer at least 30 minutes. The longer you let the sauce simmer, the more the flavor infuses into the sauce from those spices. I'm also gonna throw a little dash of spice at the end because I firmly believe in adding seasoning at the end. Wait till you see what we've got prepared for you next. Stick around.
So the question is, how would you describe residents of Ortonville and Brandon Township? Farming was very big back in the day. Today, so the vibe that you would get here would be like a small town up north, or maybe a little bit larger town up north, but it's definitely not the feeling of a metro area, if you will. We're right on that outside fringe, either from Detroit or from Flint. So it's definitely more rural character. Although having grown up here, it used to be a lot more rural. We have a lot more homes now, and a lot more residents. So we're definitely growing.
It's the Melody Grill where food and music come together. Look, they gave me a really cool hat. Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Badanjek.
I got a hook and ladder, yeah, hook and through machine. All you do is call me when you got emergency. 'Cause I'm a fire engine man. I'm a fire engine man. I'm a fire engine man. Can you hear my siren? Smoke around the corner, feels like 100 degrees. Standing by the window, man, you can hardly breathe. Fire engine man, I'm a fire engine man. I'm a fire engine man. Can you hear my siren? I'm a fire engine man. Can you hear my siren? Don't you want to help that lady down? Don't you want to help the lady down? Down, 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 down. I'm a fire engine man. Last night I was sleeping, alarm going off in my head. Mystic, when you heard the flames were dancing on me bed. I'm a fire engine man. I'm a fire engine man. I'm a fire engine man. In my body. I'm a fire engine man. In my body. I'm a fire engine man. In my body.
Hey, you. Huh? Yeah, you. Did you know that this pepper can talk? Heck, it can sing. It's got things it wants to tell you. It's got songs it wants to sing to you. And it can only be delivered to you through the wonderment of music and food. Where food and music come together, it's the Melody Grill. We rock the flavor. Chicken parm blues, chicken parm blues, in the fire station with the chicken parm blues. We've got 2 cups of seasoned Italian breadcrumbs. If you could dump those in the bowl for me. Also, we have 1 cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. Chief, you got your gloves on?
Got my gloves.
Dump that in right in with the breadcrumbs, and now you can take your hands and mix that up really well. We're also going to use 1 cup of standard flour that I put in this bowl, and then I'm going to add roughly a teaspoon of black pepper. I also like to put a little season right on the meat, and then back in there, and then we're going to put a little bit of salt in there as well. Looks like our pasta's boiling, looking good. Put about a teaspoon of salt in there. And we're going to mix that up. So we've seasoned the flour and we've seasoned the meat a little bit. You can do one or the other. I like to mix it up a little bit. Put a little salt, a little pepper right on the meat, and a little salt, a little pepper right in the flour. Then we're going to get an egg wash going. We're going to use 4 eggs. First thing we're going to do is we're going to dredge our chicken breasts. We want to not coat it too liberally. We want to just give it a dusting. The flour is going to bond to the chicken. Then we're going to dip it in our egg wash. Drip it in our crumbs. Pat it down nice. See that, Chief? We've got a production line going here. Chief, it looks like you've done a great job of breading our chicken breasts. We're going to get our oil up to temperature now. Get these in the pan. And I like linguine and rigatoni too. What really sets my heart on fire is penne. Love me some onion and some garlic too. Sweet sriracha sauce, just right for you. Oh! Yeah! Now that's food and music coming together right there. Oh, so good. Look, get a good shot of these right here, of these chicken breasts. Look at that golden brown. I'm going to pat off the grease. You notice I put them on a paper plate with napkins on it to kind of catch the grease. That's just something that I like to do. Once I pat the grease off, Johnny, I'm going to have you go ahead and transfer them right to this baking sheet. Our oven is preheated to 425 degrees. And let's start with just 2 of them right there, and then we'll do the next step and show them what's up, right? So we're going to take
They're still hot.
Yeah, we're ready to go, man. We're doing this right. All right, going to put the next one on there. We're going to take 1 dollop of sauce right across the top like that, Johnny. And then we're going to kind of just spread it out a little bit, okay, so it covers almost all of the breast. We're going to take 1 slice of mozzarella cheese and put that right over the top. Johnny, if you'll do that for all of them for me, I'd really appreciate it. Chief, we're going to have you do our garlic bread for us. We've got some nice Italian bread here. It's got some seasoning on it. We've got some butter, garlic salt, and a little paprika. So go ahead and slather the butter on there real thick, Chief. And we're going to put that in the oven as soon as our chicken breasts come out and we're plating. We'll put that right in. Only needs about 8 to 10 minutes on the bread and it'll be good to go. So Italian bread, butter, garlic salt, paprika, real simple little garlic bread recipe there for you. You could go a lot more extravagant, make it garlic butter and all of that if you like, but for what we're doing today, I think this is going to be a perfect fit. Oh yeah, we'll be right back.
Making a friend is really this easy.
I spent a long time in the restaurant business. I've held every position in the restaurant business. I've worked front of house, back of house. I've been an owner, a manager, and a dishwasher. So I pretty much know the business inside and out. And one thing I can tell you is no one deserves their money more than your server, okay? It's a very high stress job. It's a tough job. And I don't care what you tip, but tip something because those people count on that. When minimum wage goes up, your server doesn't get a raise. They are still stuck at that same hourly wage. So take care of your servers, take care of your bartenders and waitresses. They are working hard for you and they deserve that. And we are back. As you can see, our chicken breasts are out of the oven. They're golden brown. We've got a nice little brown color here on our mozzarella cheese slice that's on the top. It should be 165 degree internal temperature. I checked it with the digital thermometer. We are good to go. It's time to plate up our 5-alarm chicken parm. I love these spaghetti spoons. If you don't have one of these, you can find them at your local dollar store. One of my favorite utensils in the kitchen. I never use anything but one of these when I'm dishing pasta out of a pot. Get us a nice little bed of spaghetti going here. Put a little sauce down first. You can see how thick this sauce has gotten from simmering on the oven for so long. While we watched Johnny B do his song, it was still simmering. So as the sauce thickens, it'll also get more pungent flavor as all of the ingredients start to seep in, but it'll also thicken up as you leave it on the stove to simmer. And there we go. Oh, look how gorgeous that is. Let's do one more. This has been so fun. Have you had a good time? I know I have. Talking with Chief Quapis, they've been such gracious hosts to us. Johnny B, an incredible storyteller as well as an incredible musician. And it has been just maybe one of my favorite shoots I've ever done doing this so far today. Put a little bit of sauce down. Put a little bit of chicken parm, baby. Look at that. And then the final piece, a little fresh chopped parsley. As we said before, it's not just for garnish. It adds a little earthy flavor to it that's going to kind of temper the heat of those red pepper flakes. But it also looks pretty nice too. And there you have it. 5-alarm chicken parm, the Melody Grill, where food and music come together. For everyone here at the Melody Grill, I'm Mike Abraham saying, keep rocking the flavor. Baby, look at that. And then the a lot of times in our society, we refer to that. Let me try it over from the beginning. Here we go. Let's try it again. Hold on. I got to comment down. Goosefab. Here we go. Ready? Ready?
Yep.
All right. Looks like our oil's up to temperature now. Good call. Ready? Are you going to take a shot into the pot?
Yeah,
It's called a pot shot. Ah.